Here we go. Long balls here on Monday, July 14th. I'm Robert. He's Jason. We're going to start the show to salute to the volunteers and the all those folks making summer soccer happen. Middle of July, the summer soccer season is just about all wrapped up. In the USL2, 144 teams, 35 teams remain active in the playoffs. So there are interns, staffers, coaches, fans, everyone making summer league happen. Salute to you. It's sometimes awesome opportunity, and you get a lot of personal rewards, but not often fiscal or otherwise. So there's a lot of hot, sweaty days, setting things up, coordinating things, trying to do the grind of getting partnerships, explaining to sponsors what summer soccer is, and just sweating through it and appreciating doing things for the love of the game. People trying to make careers, extend their careers, or prop up the careers of others. People spending hours of their summer to put forth making these games happen, sometimes with thousands. We've talked to some teams getting thousands into these summer league games, and sometimes just a couple dozen folks out there. So salute to the hordes of volunteer staffs, coaches, fans making summer league happen.
Yeah, let's not be elitist here. I know you work with a summer league team in Oakland County in Michigan, so you have a direct connection. You are the media maven for Oakland County, right? Is that what your title is, Rob? Is that
I don't know if anyone's referring to me as a maven. I am the media director of Oakland County FC, and I have to say, we're going to try to get him on one of the shows later this week, but substitute goalie, I didn't even have anything to do with this, but we clipped up the phantom bicycle kick from substitute goalkeeper Finn Jirac. If you've consumed any kind of soccer media in the last week and a half, you may have seen the most close bicycle kick, but I didn't even have anything to do with that. I got to salute someone else. That's Nick Morana. Cut that one up, and that one's gone over 2 million views. So I can't even claim to be the purveyor of the highest viewed media.
But you are. But if not for your work, maybe there isn't a structure in place to deliver the viral moment from the bicycle kick that wasn't, which, that's hilarious to me that went viral. I guess it's just, wow, good effort, guy, even though it clearly, it did not work out for him. Yeah, I wanted to say, just like for people, maybe for our listeners, or for people who aren't kind of engaged with summer soccer in America, whether it's NPSL, UPSL, USL League 2, like whatever it is. And UPSL is not always summer, but my point is like lower level adult soccer, right? That's what we're talking about here. Semi-pro, college extensions, seasons for kids to play games, that kind of stuff. If not for the volunteers, if you want to find a way to connect this to sort of higher level soccer in America at this point, first of all, lots of people in the 80s and 90s would have had nowhere to play if none of this existed. And we would have not probably gotten decent soccer players to populate our professional leagues that we now have and take for granted. But take a, for example, Detroit City FC or Chattanooga, right? These are now Chattanooga FC, clearly professional outfits that built to being professional from being amateur short summer season clubs. And the reason they were even able to be successful as short summer season clubs and get attention and build to being professional is because people volunteered.
Yep.
And people worked with the teams, and people did stuff like social media or taking photos or doing game day stuff. I mean, obviously you need people to staff stadiums, and sometimes these teams, they're not making much money. So how much are they paying out when people, when they need people to work this stuff? So I think that this is awesome, that this is a moment where we can celebrate those people, and particularly when, as our soccer culture develops, Rob, it becomes easier and easier to only focus on the top levels of the sport in this country.
And that's one of the beautiful things about this moment that you and I are doing this show in, is USL2, and those teams have actually somewhat of a pathway to professionalism if they wanted to now more than ever. And teams, like you said, the Chattanoogas and the Detroits of the world kind of proved that is kind of a way that is possible with enough gumption and resources and support, both inside staffs, volunteers, and fans. And when all those things come together, it's beautiful, but it is a lot of work. And in the summer, it's a lot of hot, sweaty Saturdays, out there, mostly high school stadiums, doing all that dirty work that may or may not be appreciated. So the 2025 Summer Soccer League mostly wrapping up. I'm sure we will maybe touch on maybe some of the postseason national playoff situations for those. Those can be exciting in their singularity, but the hundreds of teams wrapped up their seasons this weekend, and an end of an era. It's a short, intense season. It is bittersweet. You want it to keep going. I get to live my best life for about 3-4 months a year, and then if it wasn't for this would be like the day after Christmas. Like, what do you look forward to next? But at least I get to slip every morning, kick around here.
Yeah, well, and look, we don't. Not every one of these teams has ambition to do more than what they're already doing. A lot of these teams are passion projects for the people that are behind the scenes, the owners, the people, who obviously organize a lot of this. And you'll run into people, if you engage with this world, that are just true believers in the sport, in developing talent, all those things, Rob, right? And some of these teams they're going to stay what they are. But there are some teams that perhaps have a future like Detroit City or like Chattanooga FC. And I know we talked to Michael Hitchcock and did an interview video with him, and he's behind some high-level amateur clubs that are bringing in big attendance numbers in places like Annapolis. We touched on the idea of, should these clubs grow beyond what their current situation is. And again, I think that's fascinating, because if we as American soccer fans want to populate the map with professional teams that then can have academies, which can then develop players, which can then help us maybe one day win a World Cup, these teams are sort of they're the seeds in the ground. And it's possible some of them will grow into something pretty remarkable.
Thank you all for spending those long-term hours through the summer to make that happen. And so Summer Soccer